Famous actress, famous heiress, doppelganger. That's it. What? That was the strangest interaction ever. I just love the main character and her grandma's relationship. It's so sweet. Incredible writer, and she's like, you're supposed to say yes to that. I can't really explain it, but I feel like this book is speaking to me. Hello everyone, and welcome back. Welcome to another themed reading vlog, my absolute favorite videos to make. I'm so excited to make another one for you all. For today's video, I'm going to be reading books based off of two of my favorite Y2k rom-coms. I'm so excited. So the two movies that I picked out for this video are How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and Monte Carlo. Monte Carlo might be a little bit more of like a 2010s rom-com, but for the sake of the video, we're just considering it a 2000s rom-com. These are two of my favorite comfort movies ever. I have watched both of these a million times, and I found two books that go really well with them, and that's what we're going to be reading for today's video. So for How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, I have the Rom Com. This is by Devin Daniels. This is actually based off of How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. This is probably the closest I'm ever going to get to a book following the movie plot, because this is actually based off of the movie. So in this book, we have Cassidy and Jack. Cassidy is a writer at Siren, which is a women's magazine, and Jack is the owner of Brawler, which is a men's online magazine, and they're rivals. Cassidy is just having a really rough go at it with dating, and her grandmother gives her a 1950s dating guide entitled 125 Tips to Hook a Husband. And Cassidy is a very modern woman, and she is so offended by this retro dating guide, and so she decides to turn it into basically a what not to do article for Siren, where she's going to use these tips on someone. This doesn't actually help you get a good guy. And she meets Jack, who she finds out is the owner of Brawler, and Brawler is a site that always posts this really like offensive, kind of misogynistic articles, and she decides she's going to use the tips on Jack and embarrass him, kind of kill two birds with one stone. And so it says, but her perfect plan soon proves to be anything but. Those vintage courtship tips she was so quick to poke fun at actually seem to work, and even worse, Jack isn't falling for any of her tricks, and it's not long before their fake relationship starts to feel like the realest one in her life. So I'm so excited. It is of course set in New York, and I just think it's going to be a really fun one. And then for Monte Carlo, if you don't know the plot of Monte Carlo, basically Selena Gomez plays a girl who is traveling to Paris, and she gets mistaken for an heiress who they look just alike, and the heiress is kind of a troublemaker, and she just like leaves all of her responsibilities to go party. And because Selena Gomez is mistaken for her, she starts to live her life in Monte Carlo, and she ends up staying because there's a charity gala that she's supposed to be chairing, and so she just gets completely entangled in this girl's life. And it's such a cute movie. My sister and I both really love that movie, and we watch it together all the time. When I saw this book, I was like, that is so perfect for Monte Carlo. This is called The Decoy Girlfriend by Lily Valle, I think. It's a little more off of the plot, but our main character is Freya, and she is a writer who is struggling with writer's block, and it just so happens that she is almost a dead ringer for a famous actress named Mandy. And it says what started out as just like a harmless little, oh, let's get into a club, they think that you're Mandy. She actually starts like going out as Mandy to get inspiration for her new book, and she gets caught, and she gets Mandy in trouble because Mandy and her fellow actor Taft are in a fake relationship. Paparazzi catches Taft fighting with Freya, thinking that it's Mandy. And so to kind of make it up to Mandy, because Mandy is really done with being in the spotlight, she is very burnt out on being famous and having to be in this like fake relationship. And so she's like, okay, well, to make it up to me, you're gonna pretend to be me again, but this time for a full month while I get a month break. And so for a full month, she's going to move in with Taft, so it squashes all of the rumors about their relationship, and she's going to go to all of her engagements and parties and all that stuff as Mandy, so that Mandy can get a break. We have a little bit of fake dating. Freya gets to join this really glamorous world, and yeah, so I thought this was perfect for Monte Carlo. So yes, those are our two books for the video. I'm so excited to read both of these. I'm in the mood to read a romance, so I'm hoping both of these are good. And I'm actually headed to the bookstore today, so I will take you there with me. But I did want to show you, I dressed up in honor of the video like Andy Anderson. Obviously her yellow dress at the end of the movie is the most iconic, but I love her white top and skirt combo, and I recreated it for this video, so I'm gonna wear this to the bookstore today. Let me like get it all together, and then I'll show you my full outfit, and then we can head to the store. Here is the full look. I'll put a picture of her on the screen so you can see the resemblance, but isn't this cute? I just recently got this skirt in a ThredUp haul. This video isn't sponsored, but I just recently got this skirt in a ThredUp haul, and I was seeing pictures of this outfit on Pinterest. I think because I was searching up how to lose a guy in 10 days in preparation for this video, and I was like, wait, that actually works so well with the skirt that I just bought. And then I found this little strapless top, and I just think that's so cute. So for today, I am Andy Anderson. I just have my like simple everyday jewelry on. I don't know what shoes I'm gonna wear because I can't really tell what shoes she's wearing. I think it's just little sandals, and so I might just find a pair of comfy sandals because I'll be at the store all day and then late tonight for the event. But yes, that's the plan for today's video. I'm so excited. I hope you all are excited as well. And I'm gonna head off to the store and I'll see you there. Hi guys, it is already 3 o'clock. It has been so busy at the store today. I feel like I've really had time to get any reading done, and actually I can't even read right now because I am making a sample bookmark for our bookmark event tonight. So we're gonna do the original ones that I've done before that I have the video on, but then I also got these. So these are like little gold things that can stick inside your book, and then you can attach the charm. Is that gonna go? And you can attach the charm to the top right there. And so I'm gonna make one of these so I can show them what it would look like in case anyone wants to do one like this. I got these just to have a little variety, and I have a bunch of girls that come to every single one of our events, and so they've already made a bookmark, and so I thought this would be a fun option for them if they want to do something different. So I'm gonna work on this. I have some cute charms. I've been saving these enamel charms for something, so I think I'm gonna do those. They're all just like really cutesy girly ones. One of them has like strawberry milk and a castle, and I like having the enamel charms all together, so I think that's what I'm gonna do for this. And then I should have time to read before people start getting here. It's not even 3 o'clock, it's 4 o'clock. This day has gone by so fast. But yeah, hopefully I'll have time to read a little bit before people get here, but if not, I will read tonight. So cute. That looks adorable. I think I can add one more charm. That also took me like barely 5 minutes, so I think I will have time to read. I think I was being a little dramatic, but I am gonna make one of the other ones so I can have samples of both, and then I'll read it. Here are my 2 finished bookmarks. I think they turned out so cute. I just had the strangest interaction. Make sure they're gone. I just had the strangest interaction with a woman who came in. Her and her husband came in. They were definitely older, like probably 60s, and they were looking at the bestsellers wall, and she came up to me and she was like, "Who is Sarah J. Maas?" And I thought she said, "Where is Sarah J. Maas?" So I told her it was on the bestsellers wall. She was like, "But who is she?" I was like, "Oh, she's a fantasy author. She has 3 really popular series. We have the 2 adult ones on the bestsellers wall. We have the young adult one in the young adult section." She goes, "Oh, have you read J.D. Vance's Hillbilly Elegy?" And I was like, major flip in the conversation. No, I haven't read that book. And she was like, "Yeah, I haven't heard very good things about it." And then she leaves. I was like, what? What? That was the strangest interaction ever. Like, she didn't even look around. They looked at the bestsellers wall. She came and asked me who Sarah J. Maas was, asked me if I read J.D. Vance's book, and then left. I could make an entire video on the bizarre interactions I've had at the bookstore because I get some characters in here. Let me tell you. Let's read this book. is the next day and I am back at the bookstore, and so I thought I would give you my first little update on the ROM COMS. So I made it to page 75 yesterday. I ended up getting to read for a little bit here, and then I read a little bit last night, and I got to page 75. I am really enjoying it. The main character and her grandmother have a very close relationship, and if you have seen any of my previous reading vlogs, I spend a lot of time with my grandparents. I see them throughout the week, but then I have a special Thursday night sleepover with them, and so I just love the main character and her grandma's relationship. It's so sweet. I can't really explain it, but I feel like this book is speaking to me, and I don't really know why, but I think I'm just really connected to it right now, and I love our main character. I feel like I understand the way she thinks about things. We have already had our setup with our main character. Cassidy, who's our main character, and her grandmother are talking about dating, and her grandmother's like, you know what, you need to do a little bit more traditional style dating, and Cassidy's like, Grandma, we've come a long way in the world, like we don't have to be traditional wives anymore. And she's like, oh, but you could learn a few things from this. And so she gives her this pamphlet that was handed out to military wives in the 50s, and it basically tells them how to be a wife. And so Cassidy is totally against this. She's an independent woman, but she also does want to find love. She has a lot of friends that are getting married off, and she wants to find her person. And so she takes the pamphlet, she's reading through it, and she takes it to her boss, and she wants to do a story about it on like what not to do, show that that's not really how the world works anymore. Cassidy wants to write the article, but she wants someone else to put the tips into practice and try them out, and her boss is like, no, you are doing this article, you have to do it. And so she goes to an event. She's trying to find a guy to like test the tips on, and someone kind of catches her in the act, and that person just so happens to be Jack, who is our male main character, and he is the owner of Brawler, which is Cassidy's magazine's rival magazine, and it's a really like bro-y magazine, and the articles they write are just like very offensive to women. And so she meets him and she goes off on him, and he's like, oh, have you never heard of satire? And she's like, this isn't satire, and they're having this fight, and it's so funny. And her boss is like, he needs to be the one you're gonna test it on. Who better than a guy who owns a very non-feminist magazine? And so he's actually just asked her on their first date, and he's taking her to the US Open tennis match, and a bunch of Brawler people are gonna be there. And so she's like, this is the perfect way. I'm like infiltrating his people and all that stuff. And so basically what she's hoping is going to happen is that she's going to act like this crazy traditional wife, like every man's dream wife, use all of these tips from the 50s, and when he responds well to them, she's going to like turn it back on him and be like, oh, so you want a woman without rights, basically. And so that's where we're heading so far. They're about to head out on their first date, and yeah, I'm just really enjoying it. I love the author's writing, and yeah, I'm really liking it. So I'm gonna read more today. I just had 3 huge boxes of books get delivered, so I've got to work on those. I have a video going up on my main channel today, and then I have a video going up on this channel tomorrow that you're gonna see before this video, and I've got to work on those. I have a couple of other things to work on, so busy day, but I'm gonna read as much as I can because I'm really enjoying it. I will talk to you again when I have another update. These are 2 that I pre-ordered for myself, The Hope Keeper and Shippers. Catherine Center, love her. This is a historical fiction about the Hope Diamond, so I'm excited about these. They don't release till next week though. 1 box down, 1 box to go. Hi guys, it is the next day and I have a little bit of an update for you. I am on page 142, so I'm pretty close to being halfway through. I think this book is about 400 pages. I am really enjoying this. I feel like it's taking me a longer time to read than it normally does, and Because I mean, this is the third day, is that right? The third day that I'm reading this, and I'm still only about getting to halfway through, but not in a bad way. I'm really enjoying it. We are getting to the point where Cassidy is slightly starting to regret her decision. She's kind of falling for Jack, and the only thing that I still don't know is if this is going to follow the same plot as How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days movie, where Jack is actually going to be playing her as well, because we don't have anything in his POV, so we have no idea what he's thinking. I just can't figure it out. I can't decide if he's actually just a good guy and he finds all of her crazy stunts charming or just funny, or he is actually playing her. And I'm trying to think of what he could be playing her on. The only thing that I can think is that maybe he is trying to work on an article for Brawler about like how crazy women are, but I also feel like maybe that's not part of the story, because I feel like the brawler woman is what Cassidy is acting as, and every like crazy thing that she throws at him, he's kind of questioning it. So when she says like, oh, I just have always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and like that's my ultimate dream in life, and he's like, but what about your career? Do you think you would still be fulfilled as a stay-at-home mom because you're such an incredible writer? And she's like you're supposed to say yes to that. And I can't remember what she said. They just had dinner with her sister and her sister's husband. Oh, she's been talking about how she needs chaperones for dates because both of their dates have been in a group, and he's just like, you know, I respect her values, and if she says that she's traditional and wants a chaperone, then we can have a chaperone. And he's not acting like it's a crazy request to have a chaperone on a date as an adult not living in the late 1800s. So if I didn't have the movie to base it off of, I would have no clue or any inkling that Jack is up to something, but only because I know the movie so well, it makes me think that maybe there's a twist coming that we didn't see. We will see. I don't know. I'm just really enjoying it. I really like this author's writing, and I was looking her up, and she actually has a new book coming out later this summer called, I want to say it's called Star-Crossed Summer, but yeah, I like this author's writing. I feel like the plot is really funny and it's moving along pretty quickly, and I'm just excited to see where the rest of the story goes. I'm hoping I can finish it in the next couple of days because I'm not really sure why it's taking me so long to read this, but it's not inhibiting my experience in any way. Normally when I can't get through a book, it's because I'm not enjoying it and I'm just kind of like slowly trudging through it, but this isn't like that. I just feel like there are lots of words on the page, and yeah, just taking me a little longer. I am actually home today, and so I have a lot of filming to do and then just some admin stuff to do. I actually just got up and filmed a makeup routine video for my main channel. I don't know if I've talked about this, but this is actually what I consider my second channel. My main channel is my fashion and beauty and lifestyle vlog channel. So if you're ever interested in seeing some non-bookish content from me, I'll link that other channel down below. Yeah, I have some filming to do for that channel, some short form content that I want to film, and yeah, I'm just gonna be at home today. I have a Pilates class to teach tonight, and I will probably not be able to read very much today, but I'll definitely read later tonight. But yes, so far so good. I'm enjoying it. It's a little later. I'm taking a break from filming because I wanted to show you something that I think is really cool. I was talking to someone about Barbie movies and how I have a bunch on DVD that I still watch, and just the fact that I have a DVD player, and I much prefer like pulling out my DVD player and watching a movie that way than just pulling it up on Netflix or something. I was making a video about my Barbie movie DVD collection just for fun for a little TikTok, and I thought it'd be so fun to show you all of them. So this is my DVD tote. My sister said my DVD collection was iconic, and I have to agree with her. I also think it's pretty iconic, so I wanted to show you. I have all of my Barbie ones together because that's what I was making the video on, but look at that stack. I have Barbie in a Mermaid Tale, Christmas Carol, Barbie in the Secret Door. That was one of the new ones actually. Barbie in the Nutcracker. That's the first, I think this is the first one that I ever had on VHS when I was little. This is like one of the ones that my parents remember me watching the most. Princess and the Pauper. My sister and I had matching Princess and the Pauper dresses. Obviously she was the pauper. Rapunzel, Pink Shoes, and Swan Lake. I actually have Rapunzel twice. I didn't realize I had the first one when I bought the second one. And then what made me think about showing you this is that I actually have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and Monte Carlo on DVD. Isn't that amazing? And look at the Monte Carlo one. The case is actually pink. So cute. I'll just show you the rest of my collection just for fun. The Notebook, Leap Year, Pretty Woman, 13 Going on 30, Dirty Dancing, obviously, Letters to Juliet, Sabrina, Pride and Prejudice, the live action Cinderella, and I also have Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time. This is when Anastasia gets to like marry the prince. I love this movie. Ella Enchanted, Princess Diaries 2, Breakfast at Tiffany's, and My Fair Lady. If that's not a good DVD collection, I don't know what is. And of course, it grows every single year. 3 places that I've had the best luck finding them have been Barnes & Noble, Walmart, and my local library usually has a huge like Friends of the Library sale where they basically raise money by selling off old books and things in the library to get new inventory, and a lot of times they'll have a huge DVD section, so I have found a bunch of DVDs there too. Love me some DVDs, I really do. It's just so satisfying to like rifle through them, pop open the pack, slide it into the DVD player, press play, get to watch the previews beforehand. Oh, I love it. So I just had to show you all that. Hi guys, it is already 6 o'clock the next day. I'm already closing up the store. I don't think I've talked to you since yesterday afternoon. I have had a little bit of a crazy day today. We have been so busy, and the power went off twice today, and the store resets every time the power goes off. Like literally everything in the store is hooked to Wi-Fi, and so it's been a little bit of a crazy day. I got a ton of books delivered that I had to work on. I had a lot of people come in that needed a lot of help, but it's been a little bit of a crazy day. So I don't think I've talked to you since yesterday at the house, but I am on page 230. I'm so close to finishing. I really think that I'm going to finish tonight. I still have about 100 pages left, maybe a little over 100. I'm ready to just know how it's going to end up. Cassidy has been going on dates with Jack, and she's been trying to trip him up, wait for him to say something offensive or whatever, and he hasn't. He's been a perfect gentleman, have started having like deeper conversations and really gotten to know each other, and she's definitely falling for him. She has now decided that, you know, she's kind of done working on the article. She just wants to be with him, which is definitely too good to be true because we still have 130 pages left. So my theory for the rest of the book is that he's going to find out that she was writing the article, and they're going to have a little third act breakup, and then something's going to bring them back together. One thing that's been really interesting about this book is that they aren't really skipping over the fact that Brawler was introduced to us as a very misogynistic magazine, and they even have a conversation where she's like, it's really hard for me to put these two things in my head at the same time. Like, you are such an incredible gentlemanly man, and then you own a website that is so offensive. And just when you think like, oh, maybe it won't be that bad, they will give examples of the kind of articles that Brawler writes, and they're just terrible. And so they kind of had this coming to Jesus moment where he was like, I'm a long ways away from who I was when I started Brawler, and now I have a board of directors and a team of investors that I answer to, and I'm not involved in the everyday of it anymore. And our target demographic is guys in college and in their 20s who think this way. And she's like, but is that really how you justify it? And so that's where I left off. They haven't really come to a conclusion yet, but this doesn't feel like the breakup scene. I still feel like the third act breakup is going to be when he finds out that she was planning on writing this article about him. So we will see. I really did not want to put the book down. I was reading a little bit this morning at the store, but I had to because of the crazy day that we've had. So I have to go teach a Pilates class right now, but I'm just really excited to go home, get ready for bed, and finish this book tonight. That's my goal, so that I can start my next book tomorrow. I also am trying to figure out how they're gonna make me be okay, like as a reader, be okay with Jack owning this website, because I mean the stuff that they've said is terrible, and I don't know. I can't decide if they're just gonna find some way to justify it, or if he's gonna end up stepping down from the website. I don't know. We will see. I think that's going to really make or break the rating on this book, because I was really feeling 5-star feelings at the beginning. I can't decide if I'm feeling them right now or not, but I think it still has the potential. I just need to see how everything is going to work out, how the author is going to make all these little parts of the story come together to the endings. We also have this aspect that Cassidy is trying to write a book, and she was maybe going to use this experience to write her novel, and how maybe she isn't fully happy in her job at Siren, and she doesn't want to write the article about Jack, and how that's all going to come together alongside Jack and his magazine and all this stuff. So depending on how it comes together, I don't know if it'll be a 5-star, but I'm still open to it. So we will see. We will see how it all ends up. Hi guys, it is the next day. I have finished the rom-com. I finished this late last night. I ended up reading the rest of it last night, staying up kind of late to finish it because I was just ready to know what happened. And I think I have settled on a 4-star rating for this. I just really enjoyed the first part of this book. I felt like this book was speaking to me. Just the way that she loves her grandmother and their relationship, and the way that our main character views relationships and like the struggles that she has in them. I feel like I was really connected to this book. Along the way, I got a little disconnected because I just wasn't sure how the story was going to end. I think what took it down to a 4-star for me was that at the end of this book, our male main character Jack, he just really acts out. I see the parallels a little bit because he's acting like a brawler guy. He does find out that the original plan was for Cassidy to kind of embarrass him with this article, completely freaks out, acts like a jerk, and then they kind of make up, and then something else happens, and then he completely acts like a jerk again, and basically just leaves and doesn't text her, and he's like gone. You know, obviously they make up, they end up together at the end of the story. And so there were parts of this book that I really loved, and there were parts of the book that I just felt like I didn't understand what the author was doing with those scenes. I'm still really interested in reading this author's new book that's coming out, and if you absolutely love the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, I would definitely read this book because I would still recommend it to you because it was really funny and cute. There were really sweet scenes between Jack and Cassidy, but it was just the way that he acted towards the end of the book, it just ruined it a little bit for me. If you love that movie, definitely read this book. If you want just kind of a fun, don't read too far into it kind of book, I would still recommend it because it was pretty cute. So that was the rom-com. I will definitely be watching How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days tonight, and then we are going to start The Decoy Girlfriend. I'm really excited about this. I hope I love it. So like I mentioned, this is the book that I picked for Monte Carlo. This is about Freya, and Freya is a writer who is experiencing really bad writer's block. On occasion, she pretends to be Mandy, Mandy is a famous actress, and her and Freya look really similar, especially when Freya kind of dolls herself up like Mandy does. And basically she gets caught doing that one night, and she gets kind of roped into Mandy's world, where Mandy is actually in a fake relationship with an actor named Taft, and Mandy is just really done with being famous, and she wants a break from people following her around all the time and having to go to all these engagements. And so to pay Mandy back for pretending to be her and kind of getting Mandy in trouble, Freya's going to pretend to be Mandy for a full month and move in with Taft. Is it Taft? Yeah. I keep wanting to call him Tate, but it's Taft. Make sure all the rumors about their relationship are squashed. So that is this book. I'm so excited. A little bit of a different concept from Monte Carlo, but still famous actress, famous heiress, doppelganger. That's it. So we are going to start this book. I am home today, but I have a lot of work to do. If you're new to my channel, you probably don't know this. I really haven't talked about it, but I studied journalism in college, and I used to work for a local Dallas magazine. I wrote for the interior design and then the weddings magazines, and I still freelance for them. And so every month I have a few articles that I write for them, and 3 of them are due on Monday. And so I've really got to get them finalized. I have most of them done, but I'm just, you know, going back and editing everything. So that's a little fun fact about me that you probably didn't know. But yes, if you're interested in interior design or wedding design, I'll leave some of my articles down below for you to read them if you're so interested. But yeah, it's really fun, and I love getting to freelance for them still. So that's mainly what I'm working on today. I'm gonna read as much in The Decoy Girlfriend as I can, and then tonight I'm gonna watch How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. But that's the plan. Guys, I'm taking a break from writing, and I'm reading by the pool. Can you believe it's finally time to read by the pool? The pool itself is very cloudy because they haven't fully finished opening it yet, but it's so warm. I'm like, oh, finally it is read by the pool time. My favorite time of year. So I'm gonna let myself have like a couple hours on here just to read, start my book, and then I'll get back to writing. But oh, it's heaven. Hi guys, it is the next day. I am at the bookstore, and I got a lot of my book read yesterday, so we have to do our first update. So I am already on page 180. I read a ton by the pool yesterday and then later last night because I got my articles finished faster than I thought I would, and I am really enjoying this. So we've kind of had the setup between Freya and Mandy and Taft, and Freya is really struggling right now with her book and she's really needing inspiration. She's in a pretty bad writer's block. Goes out one night to pretend to be Mandy. She kind of feels guilty about it, like it's something that she doesn't really want to do, but sometimes she feels like she needs it for inspiration. And so she sees Taft, who had actually come into the bookstore earlier that day, and they had this like little moment, and he looks at her and she's trying to run away from him, and the paparazzi catches a picture of Freya running away from Taft, and it looks like Mandy is running away from Taft, and Taft and Mandy are in this PR relationship and they need it to work out for their new movie. Freya freaks out that she's gonna like turn her into the police, and Mandy's like, no, but you are going to pay me back by pretending to be me for a month. And their PR managers are insistent that they move in together, and so Freya and Taft are living together for a month, and Freya's gonna go on all of Mandy's engagements, and it's just really cute. We're actually getting Taft's POV too, which is really nice, but it's funny because it's not chapter by chapter. It like will switch halfway through the chapter, and the only thing that will change is like there's kind of a little indentation in between the paragraphs, and so at some point I got a little confused on whose POV I was reading in. I feel like I'm getting to the point where I'm really ready for them to be together because they both have reasons for not wanting to be with the other person, but I'm just like, y'all need to have a conversation and get together because it's so obvious that they like each other and they have this like insane sexual chemistry. They're scared that it wouldn't work in the real world because of Mandy, and yeah, I'm just kind of ready for them to be together. Sweet Taft, I think he's my favorite character. He is such a precious male main character. He's just kind of lonely and you feel so sad for him, but not in the way that you pity him, more that you just want to like give him a hug. He just deserves good friends, and his friends aren't being very good friends to him, and he doesn't have a great relationship with his family, and he's just such a precious soul, and I love him as a male main character. I really like Freya too, but for some reason I'm just like, oh, Sweet Taft, I'm obsessed with you. I only have about 100 pages left. I think I will probably either finish this tonight or tomorrow. It's already 1:20 at the store, and I actually have something really fun that I need to work on that I'm going to show you in a second. So I don't know how much I'll get actually read at the store today, maybe just like 50 pages. One of my favorite customers who also watches my videos came in today and talked to me for a little bit, and I just love her. So Gabby, if you're watching, you made my day. I love when you come to the store. But yeah, I've just been doing that, and then I had to submit all my articles this morning, so that's what I've been doing this morning, and then I need to work on my craft. So let me grab it and I'll show you. I'm so excited. Okay, so I always do blind date with the books for the Christmas season, and people really love them and they sell really well. So sometimes we'll end up with like a surplus of books, and it's great to do them as blind date with the books instead of returning them. And when I do them for Christmas, I decorate them with like green velvet ribbon, but I decided to do some for the summer, and I'm gonna decorate them in like a Y2k summer theme. I'm so excited. So I got all of these Y2K summer stickers that I'm going to put on them, and then I got gem stickers to decorate them with. I'm so excited. So I have some of them already stickered. Here's one that I did. We wrap them in brown paper, and then I make these little labels, and so it'll say the genre and then a little bit about the book and a quote from the book. And so I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna put my gem stickers all over them and just make them like full on Y2K. I'm so excited. It goes so well with this video too because we're doing Y2K ROM COMS. So yeah, I want to get a good amount of these done today. I have a bunch of them wrapped, which is good. The hardest part is already done. I just get to decorate them now, which is the most fun part. And I'm trying to debut them, or like get them out in the store by Wednesday, because this weekend is Memorial Day, and so I want to get them out and ready for Memorial Day. So yay, I'm so excited. I thought I would just decorate a few and show you how I do them, and yeah. Oh, they're gonna turn out so cute. that I completed today. I am literally obsessed. How cute are these? They're like Zara Larson meets Y2k Summer. I'm just obsessed. I think they're so cute. I'm so happy with how they turned out. Oh my gosh, I just hope everyone loves them. So I did 8, and I think I'm gonna go ahead and put these back on the back wall and just see how they go, and then I might do some more tomorrow. But I love them. So I thought these were actually all individual mini gens, but they were full strips, and I actually love how they turned out because I was only planning on doing stuff kind of on the corners, maybe coming down a little bit, but I feel like that adds so much to them just on the sides like that. So oh my gosh, let me know what you all think. Do you love them? Because I personally love them. Hi guys, it is the next day. I only ended up reading about 50 pages yesterday, but I do have a little bit more of an update for you. We have had a scene where one of the big engagements that Freya had to take over for Mandy was a photo shoot to help promote Mandy and Taft's new movie. During this photo shoot, they were really trying to squash the bad relationship rumors, and so they were really trying to act fully in love. Because we have both of the characters' POVs, we can see that Freya and Taft are starting to feel for each other, and the photographer at the photo shoot wants them to kiss, and neither one of them wants it to be their first kiss in front of everyone, but they know they have to do it. Before this, Taft had kind of set some ground rules, and where he was basically we need to step back from being so close, I'm starting to catch feelings, this needs to be strictly roommate relationship. But we also know that he's saying that because he's starting to feel for Freya, and Freya is kind of realizing that as well, and so she decides that she's gonna make the first move. She kisses him at the photo shoot, and it kind of turns into this steamy kiss moment, and I was so excited because I was ready for that to carry into a bigger conversation about their relationship. And when they get home from the photo shoot, it doesn't really happen. Taft is still kind of laying down these ground rules, but he's kind of regretting laying down the ground rules, and he feels like he can't hold back his feelings anymore, and so he just went to see Freya at the bookshop. I don't even know if I've mentioned this, but Freya has been living in LA working at her aunt's bookshop, and that's how Freya and Taft actually meet for the first time. Throughout this arrangement of living with Taft, she's been going back and forth between Taft's house, playing Mandy, and then the bookstore. And so I think he's going to the bookstore to confess his feelings, but I just haven't got there yet. I'm still just ready for them to get together. And I say this in not a bad way because I love a slow burn. I'm really getting that tension and building up to them being together. So I'm just excited for it to happen. Someone came to the store and I had to help them, so I forgot what I was saying. But I think I was just saying it feels like there's a lot of words on the page, but I don't know if that's actually accurate or it's just that the plot is moving quickly. So I really only have about 100 pages left, maybe 150 pages left. Yeah, 150. No, I actually only have 90 pages left, so I'm intrigued to see how they're gonna work this out. We haven't really heard from Mandy since she left. She had checked in with Taft after their first engagement. I'm intrigued to see how Mandy's story is gonna wrap up and all that fun stuff. Okay everyone, it is 6 o'clock. I just closed the doors and I'm about to shut down everything for the night. I got to such a good place in the book and I really just want to finish it right now, but I have to go work out and I just cannot wait to get home and finish this tonight. I got to such a good part. I think I mentioned this yesterday, but I just love Taft. I think he's my new book boyfriend because he is the most precious soul. I feel like the author was really able to write a sweet golden retriever, very emotional boy without making it cringy, because I feel like sometimes when an author is really trying to drive that point home, the male main characters can kind of get I always see the videos of like the pick me nice boys or the quote unquote nice boys on TikTok and stuff, and it's not like that at all. I love Taft. He is precious. We see throughout the book that he does not have great friends. His friends just don't treat him very well, and that side of his relationships kind of comes to a head, and Freya really sticks up for him. Taft also finally sticks up for himself a little bit because he's kind of been letting his friends walk all over him throughout this book. Oh, it was so good. And then directly after that, we actually got some feelings confessions and our first real spicy scene, and I was just like, I'm loving this. I'm loving it so much. Again, I don't know if it's really a 5-star feeling. I feel like this is kind of opposite of rom-com, where I was feeling 5-star feelings at the beginning of rom-com, and then towards the end I kind of dropped it. I wasn't really feeling that towards the beginning of The Decoy Girlfriend, but I am kind of feeling it now, and so I don't know. It might be a 5-star. I don't know. I'm just gonna have to figure out how the rest of the book goes, like how everything kind of works together to end with them being together, because now that we've had their come together moment, I mean, I only have 60 pages left, so obviously there's going to be some sort of third act, either breakup or conflict, and so depending on how the author handles that situation and how much I like that part of the story, it might be a 5-star. I'm just really loving it, and even if it's not a 5-star, I'm okay because I'm just having such a good time reading it. So yeah, just had to give you that little update before I head to the workout, and then I'm gonna definitely finish this tonight, and I'll probably update you tomorrow morning after I finish it, because I think I'm gonna need the rest of this tonight and tomorrow morning to figure out if it's a 5-star or not, depending on what happens. So I will talk to you then. I'm off to work out. I'm loving it. Hello everyone, it is the next day and I have finished The Decoy Girlfriend. So we were going to do our final updates. I did really enjoy this. I think I'm gonna end up again with like a 4-star. I don't know if it's maybe like a 4.25 or something, but I think 4 stars is probably the base rating for this book. I really enjoyed it and I would still recommend you read it. The one critique that I have of this book is that I wish it was a little longer. It was 300 pages, but I felt like there were a few pieces of the plot that could have been fleshed out a little more. Specifically with Mandy, I thought we would see a little more of her story resolved by the end. I felt like the ending felt a little rushed, and I felt like the third act breakup didn't really make sense to me because I just love Taft as a main character. I really enjoyed this book mostly because of him. I just was in love with him throughout this book, and the way he acted at the end of the book didn't really go with his character that we had built up through the rest of it, and so I was slightly disappointed in the third act breakup. I also think it's really hard to write a third act breakup that's going to please everyone, so every time I finish a book I always go and read the comments or the reviews of the book on Goodreads to see what people thought about it, if they agreed with me, if they had different opinions from me, and I would say it was like 50-50 people who wished the book was a little longer or wished that it had been a little different at the end, but then a lot of people also really enjoyed it and didn't mind the third act breakup. So that being said, I still would recommend this book. I had such a fun time reading this, and I can't wait to watch Monte Carlo tonight. Truly, I think my favorite part of this entire book was our male main character. He was just so precious. I'm so glad that we got his POV. I feel like that completely made the book. Yeah, I enjoyed the little bit of fake dating. I felt like the tension was really great. The spicy scenes were really good. There were a few moments in the spicy scenes that I was like, what is this author saying right now? But most of it was good. At one point, y'all, she calls a butt, I can't remember if it was Freya's or Taft's butt, plump globes, and I was like, what? I've never heard a butt call that before in my life. So there were just little phrases like that, and I was like, what in the world? But it was more just funny than it was like, ew. So I feel like that was better, but yeah, there were little moments like that where I was like, where did she come up with that? It was just kind of making me laugh. All in all, still really enjoyed this book. I enjoyed both books in this video. I'm sad we didn't get a 5-star, and I feel like I was kind of the girl who cried wolf or the girl who cried 5 stars, because both of them definitely had potential for 5 stars. They just didn't end up being that way, but they were still both really fun books to read, and I'm glad that I read them, and I would definitely recommend both of them to you because I enjoyed my time reading them. Let me know how you all liked this video. Specifically, let me know how you liked the 2-book video instead of the 3-book video. I thought it would be a little easier for me to film, but honestly, it took me so long to read these books that I didn't really take down my like filming and editing time. If I had read 3 books, this would have taken me literally forever to film and edit, so I don't know, you can let me know. Did you prefer 2 or 3, or does it really not matter to you? Because the video is probably going to be the same amount of length, but you can let me know. Always happy to take constructive criticism. I don't love regular criticism, but constructive I can handle. But yes, thank you all for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video very, very soon. Bye!